credit there. But it's not a situation where I'm going to sit here and say, oh, my prediction was wrong. Guess what? My prediction was based off what we've always done, and you guys still haven't come to our ground and beaten us. So,
well, it was wrong.
But your prediction was wrong. It was
wrong. Your prediction was wrong. You don't have to sit here and say it. We can say it.
I admitted that, but I said, guess what? At the end of the day, you still didn't come to our ground and beat us. So
can I just say,
I mean, shout out Paul Merson, right? He said y'all were going to tear us apart, something like that. Shout out Paul Merson. Just want to say that off the top.
Hey, guess what? Everyone would have predicted us to beat you.
Well, I mean, everyone did, and everyone's wrong, Egal, just like you are. Everyone has to hold that. I heard Odegaard's a better creative attacking mid than James Maddison. Talk to me nicely. Look at the numbers. Also want to say shout out Boohoo Saka, crying all over the pitch, doing the James Maddison celebration. That was very cute. And it was really cute whenever James Maddison spun him around for that first one. So I just want to say shout out to Boohoo as well. Again, Odegaard, this conversation needs to be put to bed. Everyone yesterday, this whole week, telling me Odegaard's better based on my feelings. Odegaard's better based on my eyes. Statistically, he's not better. Today, eyes, statistics, all agree he's not a better player than James Maddison. James Maddison playing with a hyperextended knee, mind you, but that's neither here nor there. In regards to the referee handball, when I saw it, I was like, yeah, hit his hand. That's a handball. So I'm not too upset about it. I never like to sit there and look at a ref and say, oh, he made a decision that therefore affected the outcome of this game. There's 90 more minutes outside of a referee's decision to impact the game. And I thought that we did that well. Goodbye, Egal. But I just, really, it's interesting to me. I did say, what was it, last week after we put the work on Sheffield, I said, we're not going to go into Emirates and we are not going to lose. I guarantee it. Everyone said, oh, he's crazy, he's waffling, oh, this, that, and the other. Well, talk to me nicely. How you feeling today? I just want to say the mood was really low in the beginning of this show. You went to Arsenal fans and they were all like, oh, I'm sorry. It's just, yeah. Patrick, how we feeling? I'm feeling great. I'm still riding on cloud. Y'all almost brought me down off my cloud because y'all were I just sounded so depressing, man. I'm happy. I'm feeling blessed. I woke up at 5 a.m. to watch this match. And was I disappointed? Hell no. Ange Postecoglou showed up at the Emirates. And what did he do? He silenced the crowd. So I just want to say big up Moondog as well. They never know. And just come on. The touch. Bro, come up with your own celebration. That's all I'm going to say. Because if you start doing that and then you end up with a draw, that's egg on your face. Honestly, also the own goal, that was off target. And that's why it was an own goal. So Bukayo Saka celebrating like he won the World Cup after a deflection off Christian Romero was actually hilarious. Then his second one, he's like, I'm on a brace. I'm running in the crowd like a loser. Boohoo, Saka was their best player, and he wasn't even good today. So they're lucky we didn't win. We let them have the ball the last 15 minutes there, and that's okay. Because, again, Ange Postecoglou is going to play the way he wants to play. We never stop, and that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So up the lads. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, Saka needs to start being original. We gave him a pass with the Rashford one when he did that because we're like, fair enough, other people have done it. But today, mimicking Maddison after our own goal and a penalty. Like, come on, man. And, yeah, all this Odegaard-Maddison talk, I rate Odegaard highly, but Maddison 2 assists and was fantastic. Look how he rolled Saka for that first goal. The weight of pass was brilliant, never wasteful in possession. Yeah, a lot of people need to eat some humble pie.
Harry, what do you make of that? Would you say that James Maddison is a better attacking midfield player than Odegaard?
This is going to sound controversial, but in all honesty, Odegaard is only good on career mode, and he's always only been good on career mode. On a real, Maddison is 100 times the player. All this slander about him, all this slander about us today, I just don't understand it. It's just like, we're the better team at the end of the day. Yeah, we've had a few bad seasons, but we're better than Arsenal, and I don't care what anyone says. Maddison is 100 times the player. He's proved it today.
Can I ask you a question? Why was it a draw, not a win?
Why was it draw, not a win? Because you just
now you're
get lucky. You just get lucky.
The thing is, the reality is we lost today. The reality is we lost today. I don't even consider it a draw. I don't even care about it.
It was 2-2, so you didn't lose.
No, we lost. We lost. I don't care.
Why does it feel like I lost?
That is how it is. We should not have even drawn.
Like how you guys are moving. What I am going to say is we should be worried, because if Tottenham are doing that sort of thing to us at the Emirates, and they're 6 games, 7 games, 8 games in with a new manager, and we're in supposedly phase 4 of our 5-phase project, we should be worried, because let's be honest, let's be completely honest here. They come to the Emirates, they controlled possession for the majority of it. Okay, they didn't do too much with it, but no team comes to the Emirates and controls possession unless you're Manchester City.
But you also got to apply context to it as well, because that first half, you wouldn't say they dominated in the first half. It was in the second half when Rice came off. So let's also apply context to the situation. Yes, we have injuries. Yes, we played poor, and well done to Tottenham on the performance. But let's not sit here and rewrite it and get over emotional. Like, I can't lie, I was vexed coming on here first. But, you know, I've lived my anger out vicariously for all the other Arsenal gentlemen on the panel, and I kind of see things a little bit more clearer in reality. Let's keep it 100. That first half was, I wouldn't say it was even. I'd say we had the better of the first half.
Yeah, it was a good first half.
And then the second half,
we had 60% possession first half, by the way.
No, they did. They had the better quality of chances.
Right, exactly. And when you look at it, Basuma and whatnot grew into the game in that second half. Once the likes of Jorginho was on. So it's easy to come out here now after the game's done and be reactive and get angry about everything. But that wasn't how the game panned out. On top of that, you're looking at Spurs came out with their best 11. We've had a few injuries, albeit all top teams have to deal with it. But of course, that's not our best starting 11. Let's keep it 100. Like, with that space there, if you had a Martinelli on that left-hand side to exploit the space in behind, it could be a completely different result. Yes, I'm angry because it's Spurs. You always want to get 3 points. It's at home. It's what's expected, and it feels like an L. But then I just find it very reactionary on both sides. One saying, oh, all of a sudden James Maddison is better than Odegaard, based on what, 5 games this season? Based on just 5 games this season that we're talking, because if we
his numbers have been better though. His numbers have been better. It's not just...
but Bruno, listen, but a lot of United fans will turn around and say Bruno Fernandes has some of the best numbers in the game. But if you ask a lot of them who would they take between Bruno and Odegaard, a lot of United fans prefer Odegaard.
Yeah, but a lot of those guys also thought that Andreas Pereira was going to be one of the best 10s in the world. So the Man United fans that like Bruno, I wouldn't take their opinion seriously. They're mad.
If you're talking as a creative, as solely in a creative output machine, I would definitely say Maddison and Bruno are better in that regards. They're more output machines. That's not, in my opinion, that's not Odegaard's strong suit. But in terms of other facets of the game, there's lots of other facets of the game where Odegaard is a lot better. So it depends on what exactly your team requires.
Do you know the difference? Do you know the difference between Maddison and Odegaard? Or should I call him Ozilgaard? Yeah? That guy goes missing in big games. Maddison doesn't.
Based
That's
on
it.
what?
Based on what?
Based off of
Today.
what?
No. Name me the last time Odegaard turned up in a big game, bro.
Played over the course of his career so
far. All right, Chelsea, Tottenham last season away.
Tottenham last season away.
That wasn't a big game. Chelsea.
Hang on. So Maddison for me, and I'm going to sound really controversial now. Maddison for me, who Spurs played this season?
United, Brentford,
Burnley, Sheffield United.
Arsenal. Okay, so James Maddison's had 2 big games in his whole career. Because when you play for Leicester, there is no big game. In the year of the title race, yes, but he played big teams.
FA Cup final.
Won an FA Cup with them. Yeah.
Okay, FA Cup final, but again, we all know this. Let's not be disingenuous. The way all of our teams play against the Leicester is not how we typically play against each other, unless you're Man City. So there is a fundamental difference when the top 6 teams line up against each other, typically, versus when we all play Leicester. So he's had 2 big games, Maddison. And by the way, I thought it was good against Man United, and I thought it was impeccable today. So it's a very small pool of games, and that's not a dig at Maddison. It's just a reality. He's only just joined a big club, therefore he's only had 2 big games. But so far, he's 2 for 2 as far as I'm concerned. He's been phenomenal, but better than Odegaard. Look, numbers are important. There's no doubt. I do think the one thing with Odegaard that he probably needs to improve on is his output in these big games, because it is a key component of sensational players. Does that make sense? Like, you think about all the greats of all of our clubs, they do it in the big games as well, as an example. Although not at my club, we still hate Rashford, even though he scores against all the big teams. But anyway, I'm digressing. I'm getting myself my knickers in a twist over something that doesn't really matter. I want to do some more of these super chats here because there's been a lot of them. I don't want to disrespect the viewers. Stop waffling. Bruno is clear. Never compare him, is what Nabil says. I like. Not everyone likes him though, but it's okay. No, I'd pick Bruno every time. My guy is what Tad says. These Spurs fans.
You weren't saying that against Bayern the other day, but
again. But who was saying that?
Well, I'm saying I see a lot of it on Twitter. You see it when I speak to United fans. When I speak to United fans, friends of mine, and we have conversations. there's a lot of criticism that goes out for Bruno.
There
Not
is
in terms
criticism.
of his actual.
Can I give you an example though? There's a lot of Arsenal fans who see your club like Lee Gunner. Does that mean I can pretend that you share that opinion just because you're a Gooner as well?
No, but that's a fair point. But in regards to Bruno, there are aspects of his games where there are holes in his game. Creatively as an output machine.
I'm not debating any of that. What I'm saying is with the two guys that have super chatted and me that wouldn't do the swap, your argument to us can't be that ain't what other United fans say, because that's not all, it doesn't matter. Like that's what I'm saying. These Spurs fans talking mad. They drew against their midfield duo of Jorginho and Havertz, laughing my arse off. They ain't missing so many first teamers like us.
I expect that kind of response. I mean, when your manager cries the whole 90 minutes about the ball going off of Pedro Porro, he's over there, ooh, throwing a fit. I've seen that man cry so much. I'm not surprised the fans cry with him because, I mean, Buhu Saka's their captain, isn't he? He crying just as much as the manager. It's like a ethos that he's building. I heard trust the process. I think the process is an emotional one because everyone can't seem to hold their cookies together. I don't know. And this whole argument as well about they dominated the first half. Patrick, I love you, bro. I'm sorry, but I disagree. Big chances, we had 3 to their 2. You look at possession, we had 60% to their 40%. You look at shots on target, the same. Shots, the same. So overall, statistically, we were better in that first half. The second half, most of their chances came after Son and Maddison got subbed off. So I know that a lot of people don't like statistics, and I like to come in and try to have 50% of both because your eyes will tell you one thing. The stats will either agree with you or disagree with you because, again, statistics don't care about my feelings, about my Tottenham bias. It doesn't care about any of that. So that's why I like to refer to stats when it comes to these kinds of things. Again, we dominated the game. We deserved the win, in my opinion, and I just think it's great.
Just to add, if Brennan Johnson was a little bit more clinical, that would have been 2-1.
Is his first? Yeah, it was his first start too. Let's remember he had the first 2 chances for us. It was his first start. It's the Premier League, first Premier League start for Tottenham, and then first North London derby. I mean, this guy, all the pressure was on him, and I thought he looked cool as a cucumber. Same thing with our manager. Again, I want to go just look at the body language of the managers the entire 90. Postecoglou, hands in pocket, cool as a cucumber. Arteta flying around, gesturing, get over here, let me go. Let's do another huddle.
Managers doesn't mean anything on the pitch.
One who brought up,
like, come on.
Brennan Johnson's miss. Jesus missed the sitter as well. So like,
I didn't hear what either one of y'all said. Y'all were talking at the same time.
To the gentleman that brought up the Brennan Johnson chance, Jesus missed the sitter as well. So again, like when you talk about that first half and you're being objective,
and people picked Jesus in their combined 11 over Son. People said he's a better striker than Son. I know he played on the left wing today.
But that's not the argument. That's not the argument right here. Right? I'm just talking about that game in isolation. That second half, you lot were the better team. We never had no legs. We dominated.
First half as well.
We struggled to find a rhythm. But in that first half, you can't tell me that you lot were dominating the game.
60% possession, that's domination of the ball. I don't know what form you want to look at it.
Possession doesn't necessarily mean domination. It's about where the
possession, the same amount of shots, the same amount of shots on target, and more big chances created. How am I supposed to interpret that like y'all dominated the ball?
No. First half, they were the better team. Okay, you can say possession, but as I'm sure you know, because you sound like you know about football and you know about stats, you can't just pull out numbers. And yeah, okay, there is some context applied to it. Territorially, they dominated. They had the more meaningful possession. They looked the more threatening when they had possession. So I understand what you're saying, but a draw was a fair result. They had the better of the first half, I think, overall. Second half, you had the better of it, I think.
Well, that's an opinion. Again, my opinion is different.
It is an opinion, absolutely.
Yeah.
Makes sense. This super chat here from Anthony Zaguna says, here are the facts. Spurs fans keep saying they played well. We are saying we haven't been this bad in a long time and still a draw. Levels Spurs fans.
What? That's nonsense. Utter nonsense.
Delusional.
Yeah, that's
why is it delusional, Harry?
The reason it's delusional. All right, look at it like this, yeah. Them 22 players get paid millions. And a Tottenham Arsenal game, no matter, everyone knows this, no matter the form, they have to perform. They're big game players. You think Tyson Fury goes into a boxing match and makes excuses? Oh, you have to perform. And if they're not performing, that's on them. That's on them. They played bad. There were bottle jobs in the game. They missed a lot of chances. Yeah, we missed one. The Richie shot at the end. He should have come on sooner, in my opinion. I feel like he would have been up for it. I know he's not very good, but you know, you have big game players that just love the buzz of it, the physical battle. He should have come on sooner. But yeah, I think it's on Arsenal, and I think you should hold your heads in shame because it looks like you are. You seem like this is a loss. You lot have taken this as a loss. We're laughing, going, "Oh well, it is what it is." Everyone doubted us.
I think what the super chat was saying though, Harry, is you guys are celebrating a draw, where Arsenal fans are gutted at a draw, and they're saying that means they've got high standards in you. Is the message?
And it's at
A
home
draw
as
away from
well, so
home
I get that.
against
I
the
do
Big
get that.
Six.
Yeah, I'll take it any day. I'll take it any
I'm
day.
not celebrating the draw. We
You're not?
could have won that. Ange annoyed me at the end when he took both Maddison and Son off at the same time. Completely gifted Arsenal went out. In that second half, we were dominating. We were over and cashing them up high when they made the change in midfield. We were overrunning them, and Ange made the mistake. It should have been, we could have gone on and won that 3-2, maybe even 4-2. And Arsenal fans will go, well, we had the injuries, this and the other. None of you were saying about injuries were a factor all this week. Spurs, easiest North London derby. Not even non-Arsenal fans were coming in saying Spurs aren't a big six team, going to get slapped. It's going to be like a 5-1 and all this. And we heard it all week. And we were like, quite clearly, you haven't seen in depth of what Ange has been doing with his team. We're all a team in progress. Arsenal, look, with Jacob, the stats say that we had more of the ball. But
and then we created more big chances.
Arsenal were the better team in the fact that they looked more polished.
Based on
doing this for 4 years, so it looks better on the eye. They were quicker in transition. They were able to get Spurs quicker. Spurs were trying to build confidence in having the ball and saying we aren't afraid to play out from the back. This is how we are playing under our owner, our boss. Sorry, and we showed that. We caused ourselves problems, and Arsenal could have easily gone 2-1 up with the Jesus. More for him for lashing it and doing that. It could have been 2-1 to us with Brendan Johnson if he had set himself properly and put the ball in the net like without it hitting his standing foot first, being 2-1 to us. But I'm taking that as a very well-deserved point for Spurs in the way we played, considering everyone everywhere saying Spurs were getting smashed this week. And again, Ange, absolutely love everything he's doing with Spurs, the confidence he's got in these players, that this team can't play this type of football. I think that's all gone out the window now. Your first big test, passed with flying colours. But again, I'll be critical of Ange. I think if he had not have taken Son and Maddison off and made changes to people that was on yellow cards and beefed it out that way, I think we would have run out 3-2, 4-2 winners. It's as simple as that.
Interesting viewers. Let us know what you think. This is clearly a dig at me. Arsenal are clear, not judging by that viewing. Spurs looks comfortable at the Emirates. Arsenal were poor for their standards, injuries or not. I'd agree with that. I think Spurs, I said in my opening sort of 10 minutes, I was in awe of Spurs today. They were fantastic. I'll always hold my hands up when I'm wrong.